Well, a bunch of Democrats have been quick to condemn Comey's firing despite his role in Hillary Clinton's misfortunes. Just last year, days before the presidential vote, Comey sent a letter to Congress announcing that, quote, in connection with an unrelated case, the FBI has learned of the existence of emails that appear to be pertinent to the investigation into Hillary Clinton's email server. Although the FBI cannot assess whether or not this material may be significant, and I cannot predict how long it will take us to complete this additional work, I believe it is important to update your committees about our efforts. Zac Petkanas is a Democratic strategist and former advisor to the DNC, and he joins us tonight. Zac, I was not a Hillary voter, as you know.
Yes.
But I thought, and I said so at the time on TV, that was one of the most unfair things I've ever seen in public life. To accuse someone of misdoing non-specifically prevents that person from responding. And that's exactly what he did to Hillary Clinton. With that in mind, why in the world would you support him continuing as FBI director?
No, look, I am not going to sit here and defend James Comey or his actions, but I don't know how you can sit there and defend the timing of this announcement. The fact that it's happening 2 days before James Comey testifies before the Senate Intelligence Committee, the fact that it happened 6 days after Sean Spicer was asked whether the president has confidence in James Comey, and he said yes, that it happens several months after Donald Trump blew James Comey a kiss in the Oval Office. That it happened several months after. He says, and I quote, I was not his fan, but I'll tell you what he did, he brought back his reputation. He brought it back. The day that James Comey.
How can I don't have to defend it, actually, because I don't work for the White House. That's the beauty of this job. I don't know what led to this. We don't know the whole story yet. I do know, and I've thought for a long time, that he was unsuited to be the director of the FBI, that he had too much power, and that he wielded it in an irresponsible way. And so as an American citizen, I'm happy that he's not running the FBI. Why wouldn't you be happy about that?
I'm certainly not going to disagree with you that James Comey abused his power. However, the timing of this announcement right now is incredibly suspect, and I'm not the only one who agrees with that.
There's a whole channel based on this conspiracy.
Republican Senator John McCain just released a statement saying that he's concerned about it. Republican Congressman Justin Amash just came out and said that he's concerned about it and is calling for an independent investigation. Senator Richard Burr, the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee, the Republican head of there, he just said he's concerned about the timing of this.
I have no doubt everything you said is true.
This is not about Democrats saying this. This is about Republicans and Democrats coming together and saying this stinks.
But also at some point, isn't it about the rest of us, the 330 million people who live in this country and who want to make certain that the chief investigator of the most powerful law enforcement agency in the world is sane, sober, predictable, responsible, isn't doing weird things, isn't misusing his power.
I agree.
Shouldn't our first concern be, is this guy a good FBI director? Demonstrably not.
Why wasn't this the concern of Donald Trump during the transition?
Why wasn't this the concern of Donald Trump during January?
Why is it happening now? Why is it happening today? Why aren't they waiting? There is actively an Inspector General investigation that is going on right now into James Comey's conduct. Why aren't they waiting for the results of that? Why is it happening today, 2 days before he goes and speaks before the Senate Intelligence Committee? Why is that? Can you answer the timing of that?
As I said, I have no knowledge of any of that. It's not my job to answer those questions.
But you're sitting here and you're defending this decision by this White House.
No, I'm not defending it. I'm applauding it because clearly this guy was not suited to run the FBI. And I don't think that every decision ought to be filtered through the lens of partisan politics. Some things are more important. Like, the guy who has this much power ought to be a trustworthy person.
I agree.
And he's clearly not.
I agree, but that's why Democrats and Republicans are now condemning this White House for this clear abuse of power.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. I've just named 3 of them, and that's just because I was on the Uber ride over here. That's all I could find. But there are going to be more that are coming out tonight.
Look, trust me. I've lived here a long time. I know how intense the hysteria can get. People are calling it I read one of my neighbors calling it a coup, actually, a minute ago, pathetically.
But you were just saying it was just Democrats, but it's not. It's Republicans, too.
I'm willing to believe that.
I mean, the last segment was just about hitting Democrats.
Hold on. My only point is that your first concern always ought to be what's best for the country, not what's best for my team or their team, or how does this play in the midterm elections, but, like, is this good for the country?
Where
I don't
was the White House's concern about this during the transition?
I have no idea. As I said then and I said tonight, they ought to have fired him immediately, but they didn't. I'm glad they finally did. So here's my point. Are you going to say, man, I wish they hadn't fired Jim Comey. Is that your position?
Again, I said I am certainly not going to sit here and defend Jim Comey.
So you're glad they fired him, but you're upset they fired him?
No, I am questioning. I joined John McCain and Justin Amash and Richard Burr in questioning the timing of this announcement.
Okay. That sentence buys you no credibility on this show. Let me just say it doesn't
Justin
mean anything
Amash,
to me.
a member of the House Freedom Caucus.
I like all three of them, but that's not.
Or Richard Burr doesn't buy your credibility.
That's not the same as making an argument. Okay, invoking people's names is not the same as having a cogent case.
But your argument was that this is simply a partisan attack by Democrats to attack this White House, and I'm saying that is absolutely baloney, given the fact that Republicans are now coming out and hitting this White House.
All I'm asking is a very simple question. Are you glad he got fired or not? Should he be running the FBI or not? That's really simple.
I have been very vocal in my criticism of James Comey.
So he shouldn't be running the FBI, but you're mad he's not running the FBI.
This has nothing to do with whether James Comey is good or not good for the FBI or not.
So the outcome doesn't matter.
No, this is about the timing. If the White House was sincere in their belief.
So you wish they'd fired him at some other time?
I wish that they would have taken action, another appropriate actions at a time.
Look, we've done a ton of segments about the Russia conspiracy and Putin having dinner with Ivanka or whatever that conspiracy suggests.
I haven't heard that one.
But tonight, the President of the United States just canned the FBI director, and people are wondering, is this good or bad? They're confused, legitimately confused. And so I'm just trying to get the perspective of a former DNC spokesman. When I ask you, do you think Jim Comey should still be running the FBI or not? It's a really simple question.
I am not a fan of Jim Comey.
Okay, so you're glad he's fired?
No, but this move by the White House was to try to kill the Russia investigation, nothing more.
I guess why I was so looking forward to seeing you tonight is because a lot of our viewers don't live in Washington, and they don't understand the way people here think. They don't understand that it's possible to be happy that a person got fired, but simultaneously mad about it. Because they're kind of logical, normal people. They don't have reactions like that. So I wanted to see yours.
I don't know how you could defend the timing of this announcement. It's clearly part of a cover-up.
I'm not defending it. But I'm glad to see you, as always, and that was deeply revealing.
Thank you,
Zac. Good to see you.